Hello story lovers, welcome to Nana's Fairy Tales, where we share amazing and interesting stories. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get notified when we upload another enchanting tale.
Today I want to tell you a story of fate and chance, a beautiful tale of daily affirmation and the power of words and mindset. It is the story of Egodi, the beautiful girl. It happened in an ancient African village, settled between the enchanting songs of the birds in the forest and the sweet harmony of the oceans that flowed through the village and beyond. In this village, there was a very beautiful girl named Egodi. She has two sisters and a brother. Her sisters were Ebere and Cheta, and Obi her only brother. Egodi was a very beautiful girl that carries herself with pride and dignity. She hates to work in the farm or do any tedious job. When asked to fetch water, she would fetch very little in her pot and carry it on her head. Then she would walk majestically down to her house. Egodi prefers to go to the stream 10 times, fetching little amount of water per time, so carrying a heavy pot on her head and going to the stream just twice. The villagers called her lazy and irresponsible. They made mockery of her each time they see her walking to the stream with a tiny pot or coming back from the forest carrying a little bundle of firewood. They call her all sorts of names like Mbe, the water turtle, the sluggish snail, and the lowly earthworm. But all these names never bothered Egodi. Irrespective of the names they call her while she walks down the lane, she still walks slowly and majestically with smiles all over her face. Some say she's possessed by the evil spirits of sluggishness and laziness. The women in the village even advises her mother to take her to the village dibia for healing and cleansing. But her mother will always yell at them saying, "Nothing is wrong with my daughter, she's behaving the way Hachi created her." For most African communities believe that each human has a special God blessing and guiding them. Egodi is good at house chores, even though she would take her time to do them. She doesn't want anything that would give her stress at all. She's also a very beautiful singer and dancer. She's the lead dancer of her age grade dance group in her community. Every morning when she wakes up, she takes the mirror and begins to adore herself. She calls herself all sorts of pretty names like Odibeze, Ugochinyere, Obiageli, Obunyano. She would always tell her friends that something in her tells her that she's royalty, but they would all laugh at her and tell her that the only thing that would take her to the palace is being employed as a maid. That even at that, she's even too lazy to be a maid in the palace. Their words, however, doesn't break Egodi's spirit, because there is something in her that tells her that she's made to enjoy life. Her name alone means abundance of riches. During the preparations of one of the community's yearly festival, Egodi as usual joined her age grade in their dance rehearsals, as she is always the lead dancer. The way she shakes her waist and her hips to the rhythms of the drums and the waves of the music give a very pleasant sight. They praise her each time she dances and calls her Okoso, the spirit of dance. She throws her body into the air and swings her hips and her whole soul into the beats of the flute and the drums. One day, the prince of the land was passing with his entourage when he saw this great sight. Egodi was dancing with her whole spirit as usual. He looked at her and could not stop staring. He asked his entourage who she was and they told her. The prince waited till the rehearsals was over. He went to her and told her how nice her dance steps and that he would love to know her more. Days blossomed into the full moon, and the relationship between Egodi and Prince Udoka was no longer news in the village. When it was time for the prince to be coronated as the heir to the throne, to rule the village after the demise of his father, it was customary that he take a wife. He chose Egodi and they got married on the prince's coronation day. The villagers looked on in admiration, filled with a mixture of jealousy and joy. Egodi carried herself with so much pride that they She said to her friends, "I told you that I am Odibeze. I am royalty. Something in me is in love with riches and good life." The villagers learned as they looked at Egodi in wonder that they become what they say and believe. It is a story of positive mindset, strong belief and determination. And many years later, after the king died, Prince Udoka automatically became the king, making Egodi the queen of the whole village. She taught the younger women to always believe that the best things are made for them. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story. Tell us what you learned in the story and tell us what you would want us to make another amazing story out of in our next video. Till then, see you around.